Cleopatra, the most iconic woman in history. Her name is linked to power, beauty, and lethal femininity.
Like most historical figures, over time, her life looked more and more like a Hollywood movie. Until it was one.
Archaeology reveals Cleopatra's long-buried secrets. Which part did she play in the battle over the ancient world? Lover and enemy. Her story is entwined with Rome's most powerful rulers.
She outsmarted the most powerful men on earth, and they could not find her.
It's not hate, it's I'm first and don't want to be second.
She was already a myth during her lifetime.
Every time we tell the story of Cleopatra, I think we're provoking the question, are women allowed to rule the world?
Unraveling the myth of the last queen of Egypt. Who was Cleopatra? The great myths of mankind, mysteries passed on over thousands of years, captivate and mystify us, fueling our imagination. What if the legends are more than fiction? Researchers across the globe are working to solve the greatest mysteries of our time. Scenes on Egyptian temple walls suggest that Cleopatra mirrored herself as goddess Isis. To ancient Egyptians, Isis was the supreme female deity. She was the protector and the mother, and a magical healer who could resurrect the dead.
Cleopatra wanted to be the queen mother of Egypt. Pharaohs ascended to the throne as Horus, son of Isis. Isis is a myth of feminine power. She's brilliant, nurturing, sexual, and dignified. So too was Cleopatra.
Cleopatra rules Egypt for 21 years. During this time, she most likely had a tomb erected in order to fulfill her role as God Queen and protector of the people in the afterlife. Archaeologists rarely find mummies. Why? Not everyone in ancient Egypt was mummified. Mummification is a very time-consuming process. The dead body needs to be dried out. This supposedly stops the decaying process and helps the soul find the body, even in the afterlife. Mummification is a privilege and only reserved for nobility and priests.
Mummification is about preparing a pharaoh for a successful journey through the afterlife, which was all but impossible. Most will be lost to the chaos. But if the pharaoh made it through, they could take the hand of those who had been lost, and they could save everyone else. Cleopatra, as Isis, was almost certainly mummified, as she was seen as a protectress for souls in the underworld.
She elevates her 3-year-old son, Caesar's heir, to co-ruler. The God Queen, ruling like a man, thus becomes a man-killing seductress, adulteress, and royal whore. This is how Cleopatra will be portrayed by artists after her death.
Every time you tell the story of Cleopatra, it shows women how powerful they can be. And it's exactly because she's such a complete and empowered woman that she gets dismissed and demonized throughout history.
She was so lustful that she often offered herself as a prostitute, so beautiful that many bought one of her nights with death.
The image of the seducing beauty has been handed down through centuries.
Like most historical figures, over time, her life looked more and more like a Hollywood movie, until it was one.
In 1963, Elizabeth Taylor plays Cleopatra. It becomes a worldwide hit. She embodies a woman who uses her sexuality to seduce Rome's most powerful men.